what your favorite episode was, whether it was like your favorite because you had fun filming it, or looking back and rewatching, you're like, that was a really good episode.
Any standout moments? Yeah.
I had a few. Cordy, the episode where she got her own sitcom. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. Spin the Bottle was a lot of fun because rarely do we all get to be together in the same scene, and that was like in a whole episode where we were all together all the time, which can be challenging to stay awake, to remember that we're off camera, and to remember, Liz, it's your turn. It's your turn. You know, like that always happens. Sometimes you fall asleep at the wheel when you're off camera doing the same scene, you know, individually. Anytime we were all together was a great time.
And that's why I love Waiting in the Wings. That was my favorite.
Yeah,
We were all together.
yeah.
I share those two for sure, and then I would just add, you know, that time we spent on, you know, I think particularly when you transitioned, shall we say, that holds a special place for me too.
And for me, the puppet episode, man. It just was such a brave move. Like on so many shows, some brave writer would be like, let's turn him into a puppet. And everyone would just look at him like, you are insane. You know? The idea would never get any oxygen, but on Angel, they did that. And I just think this is so brave and it worked so well. Yeah.
So let me ask you this about the puppet episodes, since we brought it up a couple times. Where was David just hiding under tables, just doing his lines?
No, there was the puppet. Remember this? The puppeteer was under his desk, and he had like the dirtiest mouth. Remember? And so when they would say cut, the puppet would still talk, but as like the actor of Angel, and he would be like, I left that scene up or something like. But we all kept talking to the puppet like it was a real person. Like he was so engaging.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi, out of all the actors that came in to play villains, who was your favorite to work with?
All the different guest stars, I guess.
Probably Gina Torres for me.
Nathan Fillion. Nathan Fillion.
Does Spike count?
Spike counts.
Okay. He's in.
I'm struggling.
I'm struggling too. The first person came to my mind as far as guest stars, like where I was like in awe was when John Ritter, but that was a non-Angel, that was a Buffy. But that was a moment where I was like, wow, this is incredible. Like our show is being taken seriously. This little show on this network with like a singing frog and a top hat and cane and all Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We have John Ritter. Actually, that makes a lot of sense, huh? But that was amazing. That was it. Can you tell me your shirt? What does it say?
It says, Angel, some white guy that's dead.
It reminds me of a gift that I had given for, you know how at Christmas time we would give cast gifts to the crew and all that stuff. We would get together and we'd pool and buy stuff for the crew. And one year I made t-shirts and it said Angel on the front, and then on the back it said Charisma loves me no matter what, I can do no wrong, or something like that. That shirt, I thought that you have, because you guys amaze me with the stuff that you come up with too. The signing the tables. Like I got an 8x10 and resume, my very first 8x10 headshot a fan brought, and I was blown away. You guys show up with some really crazy stuff. Like, where did you eBay? Wow. But I thought you had that shirt. I'm sure you can find it. It's a great shirt. Yeah.
I would just like to say, Alexis, you and Keith Sorbaka would be my number one.
Oh, Keith was amazing. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hi.
Hi. I just want to say first, thank you all for showing up. Thank you all for showing up today. I'm in the middle of a rewatch actually, and I love all of you. I want to say specifically, Jay, thank you for bringing nuance to your character. That was definitely something you sorely needed then and now.
Thank you.
It was a missed opportunity to not have an Angel film. But I was wondering if there was ever going to be an opportunity to get the band back together, so to speak, because you guys are truly like lightning in a bottle. Something magical happened on that screen, and I'd love to see it again, basically.
Thank you.
You know what? Fans have proven they can get things made. I mean, you know, Veronica Mars, and there's, if you guys want another Angel with these guys, you should speak up. Speak up on Twitter.
I wrote a April Fool's article on my website about a Buffy reboot 4 months before they announced the Buffy reboot.
I was about to say, that was you.
Another article, yeah.
So I'd love to see you guys.
So there's your assignment. Thank you. Thank you. Hi.
Like many others here, Angel is one of my favorite shows of all time. In fact, it's probably my favorite. And my question would be that duality plays a giant part in the show, just literally and figuratively, whether it's with a soul, without a soul, a person to a demon, someone who's lonely to someone with a family, someone who kind of comes from a very kind of stitched up background, and Mean Girl to this incredibly empathetic, well-developed character. So just, was that a conscious decision to really think about kind of like this line between two parts of a character, or was it much more dynamic and kind of evolution as time went on?
That's a really great question. I wish I was one of the writers on the show. I know that Joss wants to bait the audience into thinking one way, and then just go, "You're wrong. They're more. You think you know something? It's a lot more complicated than you thought it was." But he will bait you into believing one thing, so he's manipulating it, and then he'll judge you for thinking it.
Jay, how about you? When you were portraying the character, I mean, because we talked a little bit about how he was, you know, visually and initially meant to be sort of one thing, but your eyes portrayed something very different.
Well, first of all, I'm like amazed at your character summary for all 5 of us so quick. That was really succinct and awesome. You know, the funny thing for me is sometimes I'll go back and watch old episodes, and literally at the end I'll go, "Oh, that's what that was about." Like our episode First Impressions, where Cordy and Gunn go on a mission together, and she has an assessment of who I am, and I have an assessment of who she is, and we're searching for this demon who we're thinking is going to be one thing, and he turns out to be another, and that's what the entire episode was about. And I mean, I knew that at the time, but there was an episode about pyramid schemes too, where I was like, oh my God, every aspect of this script is about a pyramid scheme in one way or another. So, like Alexis was saying, we're so in the situation and it's so fast and furious that I really missed a lot of the brilliance of the writing of the show sometimes.
Yeah, like actors are paid to be very subjective. Like we have to just track one individual's journey moment to moment. And really, if I'm thinking about the larger theme while I'm filming it, I'm kind of I'm not doing my job in that way. So we sound stupid, but we're not.
No, but one anecdote that I can give was, going back to early Cordy on Buffy, I was always in a broom closet making out with Xander, and at one point or another, I'm like, you know, guys, she's like a junior in high school, and she's got sex on the brain all the time, and she's always in it, like, can we, either she's a damsel in distress, or she's talking about her actually making out with somebody, so, what's going on? Can she not be such a hoe? You know, like, can we like work on this? Or there was the time when I was in the cabin with Buffy and I had the spatula and I was like, well, we can do this, you know, and I was like taking it all so personally. I was personalizing my character and I wanted her to go a certain way and I was expressing frustration about it. And I had Joss and David at one point, like these are very rare occurrences where you're both, everybody's on set like that, and I said, you know, I'm really frustrated, like she's just so dumb or slutty or a victim, and I'm annoyed, you know, and they're like, but this is why America loves you, Charisma, and I was like, oh. I'll be quiet now. You know, sometimes we get in our own way, and thank God we have people that have the trajectory, they have the distance, they have the arch already in their minds, but we're not necessarily included unless we ask. I never had private meetings. I didn't go up to anybody's office and go, can you talk to me about my character? Like, we don't have time, I feel like. And 9 times out of 10 on a 1-hour show, you're getting episode 15 at 6 p.m. the day before it starts. So you're still in episode 14 the night before, and you're starting a new episode. There's really just not a lot. It's just not feasible. I am impressed with all the insights that you're able to impart to us about your character and Joss's experience. I didn't have that much engagement. But I do know when I did not Your Welcome, but Spin the Bottle, I remember there was a time when he was directing and he kept having me do this scene where Angel asks me, were we in love? And I kept having to give this delivery, we were. Super simple line, always the hardest. So hard to convey that. And again, it was a sharing of a loss where we were, but there was something missing in the way that I was saying it, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And then I guess it happened 15 takes later. But you don't know, you don't always know. You don't know what's going on, even in the scene sometimes. And then the director, someone like Joss, who's so good at this, will whisper something in your ear, and then you're like, I get it. It's really in the moment. It's really in the moment sometimes.
Thank you. That was a wonderful question. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hi.
First off, my mother would kill me if I didn't do this because she's a big First Night fan, so.
Oh my God. Do you want a story from that one? This is a Sean Connery movie that she's referencing that I had a small part in. And obviously, who isn't? Fucking James Bond, right? So, we're all in this medieval stuff, and it's super hot on the set, and what the fuck's going on here? The sweat's running down the crack in my ash.
That was a great impression.
I was just like, I don't think I could have loved him anymore, and I now do. Yeah, sorry, you just triggered a memory there.
No, it's okay. But,
What's going on here?
brother to brother, yours in life and death. Just because she would kill me. But my question is actually for all of you, and it's kind of inspired by the fact that you said, Joss is a big fan of Shakespeare, and I know that you and Amy did Much Ado About Nothing. If you could all reunite to do a piece of Shakespeare, whether it be a film or a play, what would you choose as a group?
Macbeth. Malcolm, Macduff, yeah, and Duncan.
Thank you. Do it.
I'll do it. I'm in.
James is direct.
We had the pleasure of James giving us the Scottish play, didn't we? You read it at the house at Joss's. It's phenomenal. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Macbeth,
Thank
he's
you.
talking about.